So we will now continue with the presentation from Power Systems related business. We have Nagasawa Katsumi, Vice President and Executive Officer, President and CEO of Power Systems Company, and Mr. Nomoto Masaaki, President and CEO of Energy Solutions Company, established just April. Thank you. My name is Nagasawa, and I am from the Power Systems Company. So I will now explain about Power Systems and Energy Solutions business strategy. And today we have Mr. Nomoto as well. The both of us will be making the presentation today. So let me first of all give you the business overview. As it was just explained earlier, as of April 1st, Energy Solutions Company was established. With this, we will be able to respond to the market change, and we will be able to strengthen our front engineering capabilities. Meanwhile, the power system companies will continue to work on nuclear power business and power generation solutions and services. Energy Solution, this company will be covering transmission, distribution business, supervisory control systems, and renewable energy business. So altogether, the revenue for 2014 was 472.6 billion yen. Business performance trend. The numbers we have indicated here excludes thermal power. So 2014 was 472 billion. The EBIT was minus 21. And revenue for 2015 is 460, but EBIT was 23 billion. So we would like to realize a V-shaped recovery. In 2020, we aim for 800 billion. This is our growth picture scenario. So this is 2015 progress on midterm management plan. As we have explained earlier, as for revenues, 2014 was 472.6 billion yen. 2015 is 460 billion. The large thermal plant business has ended, so that's been excluded. So if you exclude that, then it is in fact an increase in revenues. In terms of EBIT margin, 2014 was minus 0.6%. 2015 is an increase of plus 4.6 percentage points at 5.0%. So difference from the previous forecast. We see increase in and intensification market competition in the transmission and distribution business. So growth is slower than we had anticipated. So revenues and EBIT are both expected to be lower than the previous forecasts. In terms of the major factor for the deterioration in the performance in 2014, let me explain some of the reasons. One is the thermal power projects, which is remaining at Hitachi, and the other is transmission and distribution business. In terms of the progress on thermal power projects, well, most of these thermal power projects are coming to an end. There's some remaining work and there's some commissioning left. So we need to make sure this is executed and we complete the work. So this is extremely important to us. Meanwhile, there are some which are in the test operation stage. So there may be some unforeseeable problems. So in case something like that occurs, we need to make sure that there's no risk on us. So we need to make sure that we negotiate with customers. In terms of Europe, among the 16 plants, 13 plants have already started operation. The rest of 3 plants in the first half this year is expected to enter service during the. So for Europe, most of the projects will come to termination. For Japan, the specific countermeasures have been decided, and we are executing in different stages. So we do not believe there will be any major change going forward. So as we carry this forward, we will need to collaborate with Mitsubishi Hitachi Power Systems, and we need to minimize the risk by strengthening collaboration and implementing preemptive management. Next is transmission and distribution business and the deterioration reasons. First of all, like I said earlier, we see intensified competition in and out of Japan. Along with that, product development and global SCM investment are being continued. In addition to that, we have booked business structure reform expenses in 2014. As a result, we have seen decline in performance. Now, in terms of streamlining and so in terms of enhancement measures, we streamlined and we reinforced our framework, and we are carrying out different reform measures. In terms of product development and global procurement, by reinforcing that, we are able to strengthen our competitiveness. Next page. Market environment and basic strategies. So first of all, in terms of market environment, as for overseas, nuclear power needs continue to be strong, and we believe this will continue to grow. In terms of transmission and distribution and renewable energy, it goes without saying, but we see increased demand for power grid updates and grid stabilization systems. Even in industrialized nations, we see increase in the demand for replacement. So we believe this will grow. However, for Japan, for nuclear power, recommissioning and Fukushima countermeasures, particularly for engineering, we continue to expect very busy season. In terms of transmission and distribution, we expect to see systems reform, and we believe this is a great business opportunity, so we will make sure we capture that. And even in the third party's analysis, as you can see from here, you can see that will continue to grow. So we will expand the IT and grid system, which is a new market, and we can expect continuous expansion of renewable energy and baseload power source markets. Now, this is our target position. The number here excludes thermal business, so it seems slightly small. So each business will grow in a balanced manner and deal with market changes. So with OT and IT, we will provide solutions and aim for growth and high earnings. Next is strategy for power systems and energy solutions business. I repeat again, but as of April 1st, Energy Solutions Company was established. With Energy Solutions Company, we will be able to provide energy solutions based on collaborative creation that are tailored to the new market. Now, Energy Solution Company will provide highly reliable systems heat components at the power infrastructure market. So Energy Solution Company will cover solution system business, transmission distribution business, and renewable energy business. Power System Company will cover nuclear power, power generation solutions, service businesses, and in addition to that, it will deliver services in key components such as power transmission, and renewable energy. So they will be promoted in an integrated manner. The two companies will collaborate to cover and provide solutions to all customers in the energy value chain. So now the presenter will change. My name is Nomoto from Energy Solutions Company. I would like to explain about the growth strategy for energy solutions business. So first of all, in terms of market change in the energy field in Japan, as of April this year, Organization for Cross-Regional Coordination of Transmission Operations was established, and we see the first phase of the revisions of Electricity Business Act. Next April, we will see full liberalization of retail market, and then in 2020, there will be legal unbundling of transmission distribution sector, and also in addition to large-scale integrated power sources in and out of Japan, we will see increase in distributed power sources such as wind power and solar power. We will see microgrid and energy management and demand response at the regional level. These are what we expect going forward. And so we see diversification of customers and market. And so we will see acceleration of merger of different value chains. So in terms of business model in the market, we need to stay on top of changes in business models and customer needs in the market, and we need to enhance our market-oriented front energy functions. That is why Energy Solutions Company was established. As you can see from these photos, systems and components, and in addition to that, we will generate new solutions to provide customers comprehensive solutions. In terms of the business policy of energy solutions, we have OT, operation technology, and IT information technology. With that, we will provide optimal solutions by integrating the two, and we will like to establish a global position, particularly in Japan. We will expand our business centered on the Organization for Cross-Regional Coordination of Transmission Operations in Japan. For overseas, we will focus on North America, and we will accelerate our business development by carrying out M&As and joint ventures. In terms of promotion structure of energy solutions business, so we will have the Power Infrastructure System Sales Management Division, Energy Solutions Company. We will be integrated, and there will be this new system sales management division. So in addition to power companies, we will be serving gas companies, manufacturers, developers, telecom operators. We would like to deal with many different companies. And we will also reinforce our collaboration with group-wide partners in and out of the company. As I would like to explain about specific growth strategies. First of all, with regards to growing adoption of renewable energy. So this, in terms of the draft for the future energy mix, if you look at that, I think it is explanatory. But the implementation of renewable energy is expected to increase. As for solar power, centerless cloud-based sensor-free panel defect assessment service, and we have 24 remote monitoring service, which is served from 340 locations nationwide. That's what we will do. And for wind power generation systems, we will provide downwind type wind turbines optimal for offshore wind power generation. And from this August, we will start commercial operation. And also at the end of last year, maybe you will remember the grid connection. We will have different charging systems, demand supply response systems in order to realize optimal grid system. So next is with regards to grid stabilization. Currently, demonstration projects are promoted in U.S. and Poland. These two countries are massively introducing renewable power energy or realizing long-distance transmission, and due to complex power grid, sometimes they have operational restrictions, assuming worst-case grid faults. So in order to prevent major power outages, And in order to maximize the use of facility capacity and optimize capital investment, they require solutions that meet their different needs. So that is why we would like to use this experience and expand business to other countries and regions. And also, we are carrying out demonstration project in New Jersey on energy storage systems. The actual transaction of energy is being carried out. It's not just the simple demonstration of power generation, but we actually check the economics through actual transaction sales and buying of energy. So we would like to provide solutions to address the capacity market and the peak time shift market. Next is electricity city reforms. Excuse me. We will develop a system for organization for cross-regional coordination, which will start next April. And we will make sure that we will develop fully. And also, we will steadily develop leveraging extensive track record. We will realize stable operationalizing highly reliable hardware and software. And we will provide scalability needed to flexibly respond to future function expansion. And here, it says 654, but as of June, there will be 673 companies with PPPs. So we will need to expand the solution business in response to this increase in PPPs. So we will do control and supply demand, power trading, customer management service, and we will provide service to our users. Next is the new energy services through symbiotic autonomous decentralization. This is the technological concept that is common to a company. As you can see, Hitachi has conducted different microgrid projects, including Kashiwanoha Smart City of Japan. So we will leverage our microgrid and realize symbiotic autonomous decentralization, which will be rolled out to a larger grid. So on a normal day, they will be able to realize overall optimization of energy by leveraging on these different microgrids. And if an emergency or crisis occurs, then individual microgrids will function autonomously. And the data and the information that is exchanged in the symbiotic automation decentralization, we can provide new services such as energy saving service, O&M, and EAM service. So let me go back and explain about strategy for power infrastructure business for generating higher energy and next growth stage. Next is nuclear power business. In Japan, we will facilitate the resume operation of nuclear power plants and restoration of Fukushima while prioritizing safety. So for Fukushima, we will continue to promote measures to improve margin of the safety, such as fire protection, seismic enforcement work, and also we will promote early recommissioning of nuclear power plants by strengthening response assessment based on new regulatory requirements for Fukushima. We are promoting different new technology development for decommissioning. We have shown you some pictures here. So, for example, in order to decommission, we need to understand the inside of the pressure containment vessel. So at the Fukushima reactor 1, there will be internal surveys of the pressure containable vessel. And I think we have already demonstrated that already. As for overseas, Horizon is in fact will be the key. In terms of the way we proceed Horizon, we call GDA. This will be promoted, and we will carry out engineering, and then we will carry out the third step. So among the 4 steps, we have in the third step of GDA right now, and in August this will be completed, and we will enter the 4th step. And we will go along with front-end engineering design. And the future shareholders are saying that we want this project to be attractive. For example, financing, power sales, O&M. These are being considered right now. And for Japan, it will be a separate path. But going forward, we need to grow with the business growth from overseas. Next is power generation solutions business. So in terms of the gas turbines, maintenance of GE gas turbines, this is something we have been doing from before. In addition to this conventional business, Energy Solutions Company is providing energy solutions. So we will provide power generation solution and engineering. This will allow us to engage in power generation solutions. And with this, we will be able to generate solid profit. Next is services business. The main point of service business is providing high value added service and leverage of IT service. So for example, in terms of advanced service, high value added service, here you will see high pumps, which is predictive diagnosis system. This is selling well, and we would like to expand the sales to other areas. And we also have a remote monitoring center. Just this fall, we're planning to upgrade this. So we will reinforce our functions and enhance this business. Next, please. So in terms of trend in business performance, here I would like to explain about Hitachi Smart Transformation Project. So in order to generate cash, we will visualize the cash flows by adopting IT system. In terms of production cost, indirect cost, and direct materials cost, this will be reduced. In 2014, it was 9.5 billion, and altogether we are planning to reduce 53 billion in the future. In terms of CCC, we would like to shorten lead time from end-to-end perspective. So 2015, CCC will be 110 days. That's our aim. In terms of performance trend, I have already explained. 2015, 460 billion, and 2020, 800 billion. That's our aim to grow. And finally, conclusion. So, energy solutions based on collaborative creation that are tailored to the new market, and highly reliable systems and key components aimed at the power infrastructure market. Through this, we will be able to provide solutions to all customers in the energy value chain. In 2015, we will aim for 160 billion, overseas revenue ratio at 11%, and EBIT margin of 5%. Thank you very much for your kind attention. So we would like to take questions now. In addition to Nagasawa and Nomoto, Mr. Uozumi Hiroto, who is CEO of Nuclear Power Systems and part of the Power System Company, and Tomomi Kato from Power System Company, CFO of Energy Solutions Company, will answer. So first question at the back of the room. Question. I have two questions, in fact. One is about the joint venture company with ABB. When are you planning to establish that? And also, maybe are you going to focus more on the services rather than to sell ABB products? So that's my first question. And then the other question is, page 7, domestic thermal project. It says you have decided on the countermeasures. Can you elaborate on that? So that is all. So first of all, let me explain about thermal power projects. For Japan, there was some defects at the turbine, and depending on the project, but for the related project, we need to replace the turbine, and there's also a project that we think do not require replacement. So we have decided on the countermeasures in that sense. So for those projects that require replacement, we're preparing to exchange it, and the plan is fixed. So all we need to do is to make sure that the work is carried out steadily. And as for ABB, Nomoto will perhaps answer this question. This is Nomoto speaking. Last December, with ABB, HVDC joint venture company business will be established. We agreed and we announced that on December. And the percentage is Hitachi 51, ABB 49%. The two companies are currently working on the details and promoting with the procedures. The joint venture will be established hopefully in August. And so, in addition to HVDC, Hitachi will do AC and overall system engineering. So this is not so much a service business, but Hitachi will be doing overall systems. So by doing, and this is in Japan, so we will leverage each other's strength and expand our business. That answers your questions. Thank you.
Question. I have two questions. First question is the following regarding nuclear power business. Europe, Ariba is in a very difficult situation. And Ariba did have a significant track record, but in terms of the fourth generation at the advanced model, they are struggling now. And now in the UK, you have Horizon business, and for EBWR, the core is not so much of an issue. However, from your point of view, why do you think Ariba is finding themselves in the current situation? ABWR, for ABWR, what is the difference? And if in Lithuanian, ESBWR will mean that the technology will be different. So in terms of technology, what is going to be the business risk? Do you think that the commissioning is going to be delayed? The most proven is ABWR, and the specification is emphasizing safety. So what is your view on this point? Second question is as follows. TEPCO smart meter is being discussed. This is going through a general contractor, but from a layman's point of view, just by distributing smart meters, it seems that additional people are being hired. You are very strong in terms of system. But whether it is cross-regional, this is a first approach. Therefore, there will be some difficulties. But you are very strong in solution, and I believe that there is business opportunities for you. But why has that issue occurred? And inclusive of cross-regional, with the more distributed power, I believe that the changes will occur. What is the difficulty, and also what is the business opportunity going forward? It may be difficult for you to comment, but please elaborate on this point. Answer. Regarding nuclear power, I would like to give you the explanation first, and Mr. Woizumi will follow. Now, regarding Alibaba is an issue pertaining to another company. Therefore, I do not want to say anything about this. But according to public information, in terms of design as well as for construction, there seems to be issues. Now, as mentioned already, ABWR is the reactor that we are working on with a significant track record. Therefore, challenges are limited in our case. But in the UK, we have to follow the specifications, and consideration is being made accordingly. But I believe that these issues can be overcome going forward. Now, the other issue is construction. This is along the continuum of the track record we have domestically. I believe we can deal with this issue. But selecting the right partner is most important. We are trying to identify this best partner for us. I would now like to ask Mr. Woizumi to add information. As mentioned by Mr. Nagasawa, how to prove technology is going to be very important. Furthermore, the detailed design must be expedited before construction begins. It must be fixed beforehand. That will be the key. For people working in ABWR development, we have always been focused on this point. And this will be brought to bear in the UK as well. Design will be finalized before construction begins. By so doing, we will make sure that risk is mitigated in terms of design during construction. So we will take reference from other companies' experience so that the risk can be minimized. Now, regarding smart meter, I'd like to ask Mr. Nomoto to explain. This is an issue pertaining to other companies, so I will not comment directly. I'd just like to share with you my own experience. I entered the company at the Omega plant, smart meter of Hitachi, MDMS. The areas that I have worked in. Because I've always worked in the area of energy. This is the area that I have been involved in the development. And generally speaking, smart meter, in terms of real-time controller, the number is explosively large. In the case of TEPCO, there is total 20 million, and the 10 million for the Kansai Electric Power Company and Chubu Electric Power Company. And the cross-regional data must be collected quasi-real-time. The plant people will not consider this to be online, but it is not offline either. It is quasi-real-time. And in this regard, 7 or 8 years ago, it was akin to IoT today. And from devices across region, from these devices to collect data almost real time, it will mean that efficient collection without leakage will be required. So its reliability almost like real time, but it is very similar to information technology, communication technology as well. So this is an area where synergy can be brought to bear. That has been a focus for our development as well. So this is an area that Hitachi has been working on over the years. As the communication, a component of the smart meter is something that we handle for MD. For the MDMS, almost 50% share is the orders that we have received. We are working in development on a parallel basis. Therefore, steadfast efforts are underway on the part of Hitachi in terms of development track record. And as reforms are taking place in the industry, we hope that the business can be expanded going forward. I would also question, in terms of nuclear power, the core equipment is not a problem. However, there have been some crashes of airplanes. So ABWR, I think, is proven. But for Europe, there have been airplane crashes. So there is a concern about the container vessel confirmation in Europe. Other TEPCO and other companies are considering to order elsewhere. Is this a business opportunity for Hitachi? Do you think that you can expand your business outside of Japan as well? In terms of nuclear power, regarding approvals and permissions, the specification is different. Various considerations are underway. Mr. Uozumi can give further details on this topic, if you will. Now, as you have rightly pointed out, in terms of gaining approvals, the current design to be changed has occurred. And not just for the purpose of gaining approval, but the actual field work engineering will have to be clarified. That is also very important for us. Therefore, we will bring to bear the strength of our partners as well. We will verify the result, and we will work out the details, take into consideration the local conditions in a proactive way. We will not be complacent. We will make steadfast efforts going forward. Regarding smart meters, in terms of introduction of smart meters is very important in terms of electric power reform. That is a starting point. And using the data from the smart meter, new solutions and services must be developed. That is going to be a significant business opportunity for us. We will work together with the information telecommunication company to utilize the data from the smart meters to generate and develop new solutions. This is one approach we will take. Now, electric power companies have introduced the smart meters. Gas companies may follow suit, as well as water supply companies will also consider the possibility of smart meters. Therefore, we would like to develop this business horizontally. We will continue to consider these opportunities.
Any other questions? Gentleman at the back. Question. 2 questions. First question. So up until now, about overseas project management, if you look at your thermal power project track record, you have been struggling with project management. And so in light of that, you're trying to increase your nuclear power business overseas. We question your ability to capture profitability. So what were the issues you faced in the past in project management, and how are you going to change that so that you can secure profit in the future? Can you be more detailed on that? And in terms of CCC, in terms of the nature of your business, it tends to get long, but I think last year it was longer, and you're trying to reduce it this year. Now, I think you said end-to-end lead time will be shortened. Is that something you have never done before? I mean, if you can shorten this much, then why did you not do so before? So can you explain about your initiatives? That is all. So answer. First of all, in terms of overseas projects, our main project would be Horizon. And in thermal power plant projects, of course, there were some unforeseeable emergencies. For example, hurricane occurred, and we didn't have enough resources, and so most of the workers were working for the hurricane to deal with hurricane, and so we did not have enough resources. So we're trying to analyze this, and we're trying to make sure that we fully carry out the UK project. And the other is about project management skills. That I think there are 2 issues, 2 points. One is risk management, and the other is tools. So first, in terms of risk management, I think there are different aspects to it. So for example, what we're working on right now is phase gate. It's a step-by-step process where we check at every step. And so we have clearer rules than before, and we have third-party view, and make sure we check each step. The other is tools. So for example, at the estimate quote stage, how can we be quick in our estimate, and how can we check the specifications before contract? And in order to do that, we have introduced a fast, high-speed engineering tool, which will allow us to accelerate, and we will have increased amount of time for us to study, so that at that time we will be able to minimize the risk at the contract point. And in terms of the local construction process or schedule, I call it Concord. This is the project management tool that is used in nuclear power plant, and we are trying to. We have already fully applied that to domestic projects. So we will utilize all of these tools and methods to UK projects. So while we can fully capture the construction process, and then identify issues and work on each of these issues. And And I think that's the basics of project management. So that's what we plan to do. Also, in terms of CCC, how is it different from before? Actually, we have been engaging in different activities, and it's not that we did not have this concept of end-to-end, but we were actually focusing more on the flow. But from dealing with project management point of view, it should not be looking at just the flow, but we should also look at the individual projects. So right now, sales, money deposited to procurement and allocating funds and sourcing and then delivery. So in the overall project flow, we have an integrated monitoring system for each project. So from upstream to downstream, we're able to visualize and manage. And by doing so, we will be able to improve our cash flows. So for example, in 2014, money deposit. So CCC tends to be looked at often as a factory plant, but it's linked to sales of factory, and we need to make sure that there's money deposited from the sales side, and otherwise we will not be able to realize CCC. So we're trying to reinforce management on that aspect as well. I hope that answers your question. Yes, I have a question about a confirmation about your project management. So the fact that your profitability was not stable so far is it just temporary reason from hurricane, or is it because you did not have the tools before? And you said that you have the tools, and these tools are essential and fundamental to project management. So you did not have that tools before, but now you're introducing that, so you will improve. I understand your point. This is the answer. So in terms of crisis, I think we need to make sure that we prepare for it in advance in case something occurs, unforeseeable situations. And we need to look at the risk management before contract. And I think maybe we were not so detailed in that. So, like I said before, we have phase gate management. And by implementing this, we will be able to identify all risks, and we will implement different countermeasures. And that's critical. So this is preemptive management, in which we perhaps maybe lacked before.
A question. Now I have a question regarding page 11, regarding the long-term performance target. Currently, in terms of profit margin, in terms of generating profit, in terms of nuclear power, renewable energy, T&D, and others, what is the breakdown for 2015? And what about 2020? How is it going to? What is going to be the breakdown at the time of 2020? I believe that nuclear power, the overseas sales is going to increase. Is this the area that is going to generate profit margins? For renewable energies, several examples were given today. As you launch these business, is it going to contribute with higher profit margins? Please elaborate. Answer. Regarding profit margin, profitability, we are not disclosing this information. Therefore, the detailed breakdowns cannot be shared. For 2015, currently in terms of profitability, the difficulty is in the thermal power generation and T&D. In terms of profitability, they are struggling, but otherwise they have been able to generate the expected profitability. Although there is it is mixed. By implementing the appropriate measures, I believe that the profitability can be improved. In the long-term outlook point of view, in terms of volume, the nuclear power overseas project will be quite prevalent. This is an area where profitability must be generated. This will be a major challenge for us. In terms of energy solution business, how much growth can be achieved will be very important as well. For T&D, as well as for renewable energy, we must continue to grow these businesses. As for the renewable energy area, currently, the solar power is being very active, but we will also shift emphasis for wind power as well. In this area, profitability will be enhanced. Currently, we are making investment for development, therefore, the profitability is not sufficient enough. However, we believe that this is a business that will contribute in terms of profitability. Question. For overseas nuclear power construction projects in the long term, when it generates revenue, do you think that it will drive profitability for your business? Answer yes. Question. Renewable energy, there is from solar to shifting to wind power was mentioned. In terms of long-term profit expansion, do you think it's going to be a straight line, a linear, or there is going to be preceding investment and there will be conversion from solar to wind? Would it mean that the profit level will remain low? But going forward, is it possible that the renewable energy will ramp up significantly in terms of profit generation? Answer. Regarding renewable energy, in the past 2 or 3 years, coming 2 or 3 years, solar will be flat. This is because 36 yen, 40 yen Fed the price has been set. And yesterday, and the day before yesterday, the certification system is changing, and therefore there will be a surge before the change. And overseas funds are making investment in terms of solar power. Therefore, in the coming 2 years or so, I believe we will continue flat, and thereafter it is likely that the business will decline. However, to offset this, wind power is, especially in the offshore, will be ramping up. In Japan, in Tohoku, as well as for Hokkaido as well, the offshore wind power inquiries are being received. We believe there will be significant ramp up. Therefore, it will not be linear, but rather it will be more dramatic growth that can be expected in this area. I would also like to add the following. We are trying to increase the ratio of services. And going forward, it is likely to grow, and profit margins are likely to be high. And this is also an important emphasis for us.
We're approaching to our limited time, so we can take one last question. One question about Lithuania project. Can you give him the progress update on that? So for Lithuania, with the national referendum, it was rejected. That was one event. But then since then, the government, this is about energy security issue. So they decided they need to work on it once again. So there's some move. We are actually trying to signing MOU with the Lithuanian government. And on page 24, it says PCO, but we are trying to establish a project operation company, PCO. And so we are preparing for that. Anything else to supplement from our team? As it was just described, we are preparing. And we are meeting with the Baltic state government officials and energy organizations and discussing. That's all. I thought, question. I thought you were trying to establish a operating company by 2014. Answer. In that sense, I think it's true there's some delay, but we are steadily, or I should say, we are moving forward in a certain manner. So the project has not stopped. And the operating company is actually PCO. Question: when are you planning to launch this, establish this then? Answer: well, let's see. Maybe in this 1 year or so, that's our general goal. Question: so that's more than 1 year delay from the initial plan? Answer: that understanding is correct. Question: what's the reason for delay? What issues? Answer: well, in Lithuania, there's a power shift, administration changed. So there was a national referendum, and the result came out. And based on that result, the outcome of the referendum, they had to once again rebuild the overall framework. So that's why the time is taking time. Question: so commissioning is expected to start in 2022 or 2024. What about the plan for that? Do you expect some delay in the start of operation? Answer: at this preparation point, it's taking some time, so we're expecting some delay. Thank you very much. So with this, we end the presentation for power systems related business. Thank you very much for your kind attention.